Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My whole life, people always said, you're a very old soul, an old spirit, and there's a very good reason why that is. Somewhere around March of 1973, my father gathered my brothers and I together and said, 2 of you are going to camp, and guess which one that was. But I thought it was a great honor to work with my father. My father was always my hero in the construction business. It was very special, something people who just started in the industry can't possibly understand. It was a time when most tools weren't invented. There weren't nail guns and compressors. There wasn't electric miter boxes. We framed a house with a 32-ounce hammer and 10 and you had a circular saw. I used to trim a house with a finishing hammer, a punch, and finishing nails, something you guys don't even know what I'm even talking about. We worked, my father and I, were very special people. And it's not just the difference in the trades. You know, I always say the Italians did the tile and the masonry, and the Irish did the framing and the flooring, and the Greeks did the siding and the roofing. And very different than it is today. But more than that, it was the people that my dad and I worked with. We had my electrician, Mr. Hansen, and my plumber, Leo and Paul Batista. These were men who just, they're in the late 40s, maybe early 50s, who served in World War II. And I was a little boy, and my plumber, Leo and Paul Batista. And typically these men who had worked, great men. And typically these men who had worked, would not talk of their experiences. But that of those particular, you see, the helpers who were working with Dad and I, you see, the helpers who were working with Dad and I, Richie and Tim and John and Mike, going to Vietnam, or maybe coming back to Vietnam. And the older generation, these men were in their late 40s and 50s, were nervous for their sake because during World War II, people lied about their age, you know, just to fight. But the guys who, like Sid, who went to Vietnam, you know, they were spit upon. And it wasn't looked upon proudly like it was in the previous generation. World War II, people lied about their age, you know, just to fight. Those who died during World War II, fellow soldiers, and as a little kid, you heard these stories, and it was frightening. How many people as a little boy did you hear about dying? So Richie went to Vietnam, and Mike went to Vietnam, and Tim went to Vietnam, and some of them didn't come back. And when my dad shared with me that 2 of them didn't return and wouldn't be returning, it's shocking as a little boy. We get older and we're used to Dads and Johns and Mikes who haven't returned. And may God bless their souls and be elevated to greater heights. May God bless all of our veterans, and God bless America. Thank you, Mayor, for putting this together.
I'd like to invite our Presiding Officer of the Nassau County Legislature, Howard Kopel.
Thank you, Mayor Weinstock. Thank you, Mayor Weinstock. You know, we have 2 holidays where we celebrate people that serve. Veterans Day, of course, and Memorial Day. Memorial Day, which people don't really understand. Maybe people is celebrated for those who we lost during all the wars. And yet we celebrate with parades, very nice, but parades, and we have sales. It's the unofficial start of summer. We have barbecues, all that. In my mind, to be personal about it, my mind goes back when I was 18. And at that time, the Vietnam War was in full swing and getting worse. And there was a draft back then, and being an only child at the time, my mother and my grandmother at the time were fiercely opposed to my getting involved, and I think I was probably more afraid of them than I was of the Viet Cong, probably. I had a series of student deferments, then there was a draft lottery. My number didn't come up, and that was the end of that. And I still feel a little bit guilty. I still feel a little bit guilty today, even though those who have served, I have many friends at this point who are in Vietnam. They told me, no, you're lucky, you're lucky. You know what? I was lucky. I was lucky that there are people who did go, people who sacrificed, who gave their all, as said previously, their last full measure of devotion. Sacrificed, who gave their all, as said previously, their last full measure of devotion. I was lucky, and that had saved us, for people in this country, and throughout our history. Those are the people that have said thank you, sir. Appreciate what you've done. You and all those like you. I had many relatives who served in World War II. And what can I say? Let's just remember them, and remember them with gratitude.
Our next speaker is going to be our Supervisor of the Town of Hempstead, John Ferretti.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor. On behalf of our Hempstead Town Clerk, Keith Murray, Receiver of Taxes, Janine Driscoll, thank you to Mayor Weinstock and Mayor Namias for making sure that we have this event, despite the fact that we've had some pretty horrific weather out there. Although we couldn't have the parade, I think it's a real testament to the Cedarhurst-Lawrence community that this witness, a real testament to the Cedarhurst-Lawrence community that this witness standing room only, a real Memorial Day. In Cedarhurst-Lawrence, we really celebrate Memorial Day every single day, remembering those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. And so I want to once again thank the village of Cedarhurst-Lawrence. I want to ask that all those adults there that are here today, see the young people that are here today, and make sure they know what Memorial Day is all about. While we may celebrate with barbecues and festive events, it's really about remembering those who gave their lives. While we may celebrate with barbecues and festive events, it's really about remembering those who gave their lives for their country. And we continue to pray.
Our next speaker is our New York State Senator Patricia Canzoneri.
I would love to come up with a new theme to say today because I've had so many amazing speakers already comment. First, I'd like to thank Mayor Weinstock from the Village of Cedarhurst and, of course, Village of Lawrence and Sam Namias, our mayor in Lawrence, for hosting this important ceremony. But mostly, I'd like to say thank you to all of you for being here. Cedarhurst and, of course, and Sam Namias, our mayor in Lawrence, for hosting this important, that we think about those who served our country and don't have someone to remember them. It too, that took the opportunity, lied about their age. They were 17, 18, 19. They never had the chance to marry. They did not have children. There's no one in their family left. They did not have children. There's no one in their family left. And if we don't stop and thank them and give their memory acknowledgement and their service, there's no one else to. And that's what we're doing here today. My grandfather was a World War I vet. My father served in the Coast Guard during Korea, so it is not lost on me the service that you have given to your country in the Coast Guard during Korea. So it is not lost on me the service that you have given to your country. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Sharing a story, Commander, about your dear friend is what today is about. And it's okay if we shed a few tears because they gave their life. And it's not lost on me as a woman to not only have the right to vote, to be an elected official, your New York State Senator. And it's because of men and women like you that I have the right to stand here. And please know that I thank you for your service, and I think of those men and women that went before us that served so that we could be here today. Thank you for bringing your children. Thank you for making sure that you are here, young people, to know what today here, and thank you for making the service so beautiful. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
How old is he?
97.
97. Sorry. He took 3 years off. He lied about his age. His older brother Seymour passed away. He was killed on the beaches of Enzio. He's a soldier in World War II. He also lied about his age to get into military service. And I had the Purple Heart that we received, his family received at home. I should have brought it with me. It'd be an interesting thing to display. Anyway, we memorialized Seymour by placing a brick in our Memorial Plaza across the street and it's a nice way to memorialize the memory of people who've been lost and family members who passed away in wars. Consider doing that for a family member. We thought it was a great way for our family. Anyway.